Felicity from Get Your Rock Out here talking to the lovely Mark from Credo. How are you doing today?
Yeah, really good. Having a great time, thanks. Yeah.
Brilliant. And we're here at Hard Rock Hell. You guys are obviously the prog side of stuff, because of course we have two festivals running on the same day at the same time, getting a little bit confusing. But yeah, so you were the prog side of stuff, and you played earlier.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was brilliant. We had an amazing response. I'm always amazed when we come and play places like this that people actually seem to know the songs. And the worrying thing is they tend to know them better than I do, and being the singer, that does tend to be a real problem for me. But no, the response we got was fantastic, and it's a great venue, and everybody's just been amazing. So it's just great. Yeah.
And were you happy with audience numbers? Because it's always quite terrifying to play like kind of first thing in the afternoon.
Well, yeah, we were sort of half worried that they might not open the doors until we'd finished or something like that. Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah.
And actually, I think because we were the first band of the whole festival, and it was the only music that was on at the time, we had quite a good turnout.
Brilliant.
And I think, even though we are nominally a prog band, I think that people do find our songs very accessible, so we're not a widdly prog band. And we don't do demons and wizards and shit like that.
Fantastic. And, the two audiences, they do go together, so well.
I mean, there's, don't tell the prog police, but, I look down the AOR list, and there's bands on there, and there's so many bands that I've got albums from, I've still got the vinyl from, and I'm like, oh my God, I wish I'd bought. I do this really sad thing which embarrasses the rest of Credo. When we play with proper bands, I bring my gear on, get them to sign it all.
Oh, fantastic.
How embarrassing is that?
No, that's really nice though. My utter kind of pride possession is like signed Blondie vinyl.
No.
I know, right? It's the Parallel Lines vinyl signed by Debbie Harry Hiss. I just think it's a great song.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Do you remember a band called Alaska? Bernie Marsden. Check him out if you like your AOR. It was Bernie Marsden had this band called Alaska after he left Whitesnake, and I was working in a record shop in Hammersmith many years ago, and the singer came in. And I used to sort of go around and follow him a bit. And I got the album off the shelf, got him to sign it, bought it, and it's just brilliant. But anyway, sorry, not as good as Debbie Harry though. But.
I don't know. Actually, come to think of it, Alice Cooper was in Manchester once, and I used to work in Affleck's Palace at the time, which is a massive alternative store in Manchester. I wasn't working on the day, but my boss knew what a massive Alice fan I was, and so I actually have, because he just grabbed the nearest thing he could and said, please sign this. So I have a signed copy of the Jungle Book. Signed by Alice.
Yeah, but that's even better. Because it's like, that's brilliant.
Yeah, just the only thing that he had in his stall that was possible to sign, and so it's the Jungle Book.
Can I tell you my Alice Cooper story?
Yes, please do.
I'm not sure what year it was, but he was playing the Reading Festival, and so this would have been probably the late 80s. And me and a load of my mates, we used to go there and work security. And we were in the stage, in the pit between the stage and the audience, and he had these big balloons full of blood. And he burst one, and it went everywhere. And I've still got my leather jacket on, and it's ruined and stained with fake Alice blood all down it. And it was a distressed leather flying jacket. But I love it even more now. It doesn't fit me anymore.
But you've got it.
But I've still got. I keep it forever. Yeah.
Definitely.
No, Alice's fake blood.
No, that is an amazing story. Actually, it's good. It's a fantastic thing, music, isn't it? I mean, it's so just unbelievably accessible to so many generations.
And if you can't enjoy it, then there's something wrong with you. And if in any kind of music, if it's good and people are playing it, and they're playing it not necessarily with an attitude, but they mean what they're saying, or they mean what they're performing, or there's the emotion there, then you can't beat it.
Definitely. And it's been really nice because I've seen quite a few of the kind of younger audience here today, and I must admit I wasn't expecting that so much, to put it lightly, but it does seem to be as though it's opening up more and more.
I think it is. There were certainly people at the front of the stage when we were on. I felt a bit like Jimmy Savile, and it was a bit like, I was thinking, this is all just going horribly wrong,
I'm sure you can't say
Can't I say that?
Probably not, but it's going to be the quote of the weekend.
Right.
So.
Should we do that question again?
No, not at all. That's definitely staying in there.
All right. But no, it is, and we do a thing where, because we're all quite old now, and we've all got kids in their teens, and a couple of the guys have got kids that are in their 20s, and they come along, and there is the bit where they like blind faith because it's my dad, but then when they get above a certain age, it actually becomes embarrassing. But then when they come back and they bring all their mates and stuff, and you get all these people coming up going like, it's amazing. Are there other bands that play this sort of stuff and stuff like that? And they just don't get exposed to it because of the tap that's on. I worked in the record industry for 25 years, and the whole thing just doesn't really exist anymore. And but you expose people to good live music, and you get them forever. And that's the prize, and that's why we all still do it. That's why we're all involved in it, isn't it? Let's be honest. It ain't for the money.
Really? You mean you don't drive around in a limo?
I actually drive around in a Merc. I do, honestly. But that's the day job.
That's in that case fair play. Fair play. Nicely done. Moving back onto kind of band matters, I think we've gone off at a massive tangent here. Not at all. You guys, you've had a bit of a lineup change recently. New drummer last year.
Yeah.
How's that working out?
Brilliant. Martin was with us for about 14 years, I think, it was just time to move on. We've got this guy in now. We call him Mully, but his name's Gerald Mulligan, and he's just phenomenal. And his pedigree is astounding. He's played with people from Spock's Beard, and he's played on some really amazing albums. And the irony is he lives about 3 minutes from where Tim the guitarist lives. And it was just like, and then we contacted him on the sly, and it was like, actually we'd be interested in, didn't even know where he lived, and he was like, I love your albums, wanted to come and join your band, and it just worked. And he's so good, and he's brought a real, it's up the game again for us. He's probably more of a solid, more rock drummer, but he's got all the prog licks. I mean, he learnt by playing along to Phil Collins and Genesis album. But he's got a very contemporary sound and style. He's a great guy. Unfortunately, he's in India at the moment. He sat outside the Taj Mahal. I assume that's what he meant, and he's not sat outside some curry house. Because he emailed us this morning and said, good luck. So we actually had a depth drummer today. He was a guy called Danny, who's the drummer in Landmark, and he was only 20, so it brought the average age of the band down fantastically. And the poor lad only had 2 rehearsals with us, but but yeah, Mully's great, Danny's great, everything's great.
That's all really positive then. No, I thank you very much. You're not so bad yourself. Oh, thank you. I do quite like these boots. Can I get the wrong pair? There are the boots. You've got a new album out next year.
Yeah.
This year?
Next
year?
Well, yeah. Eventually.
Supposed to be this year.
Yeah, it's going to be either the autumn this year or next year. We've got a lot of work coming up. We've got our last album actually came out 2 years ago today, which seems really bizarre. And somewhat even more surreal was the night it came out, we played in Rotherham.
No.
Yeah.
Whoever plays
in Rotherham, especially with an accent like mine. We're actually quite big in Rotherham. I know, it's bizarre. It's one of the places in the country where we play, and we'll sell a venue out. Mansfield's another one. How bonkers is that? Most of the UK.
I'm interested in seeing why.
Yeah. I don't know. Most of the UK, we can't even get arrested, but there's certain places where we can go and it's bizarre. But anyway, so the album came out 2 years ago. We did a huge tour in terms of prog bands and to support it. It wasn't really that huge, but it felt like it. It's a bunch of old men, and that went brilliantly. We then lost a lot of time because we replaced Martin. We got Mully in. We started writing a new album. Mike, the keyboard player, plays in a number of other bands and wins lots of awards and stuff. And so he's been out touring and doing all sorts of stuff. So the aim is to have the album out either late autumn or early spring. We've got the 20th anniversary of the band being formed next year. We've got the 20th anniversary of the first album. The year after, we've got the 10th anniversary of what is probably our most popular album, which is Rhetoric. We've got somebody's going to release both of those albums, the Rhetoric album and the current one, which is Against Reason on vinyl. So, but you know what? I don't actually. I can't tell that story. No.
I want to hear this when the camera's off, right?
All right. Yeah.
Gonna hold you to that.
It's not that bad actually, but I suddenly got shy. But yeah, no. The Against Reason album's been an amazing success for us. At the end of the day, we're 5 blokes in our 40s and 50s who get to play at being rock stars every so often, and it's just fantastic. I feel like a kid that's been locked in Toys R Us.
Brilliant, except not nowadays, because all the Toys R Us toys are crap nowadays,
no, they are.
Which is really sad.
Yeah.
So locked in an old style Toys R Us.
Yeah, no, an old style Toys R Us, yeah.
Brilliant. So there is like absolutely tons to look forward to from
it's
you guys.
all really exciting. Well, for us anyway, it's really exciting stuff. So we hope people will have a look at us, look us up on YouTube. There's a great clip from our live DVD which we did in Poland a couple of years ago. Poland's another place where we're huge. We play a theatre with 3 tiers, and it's just like we got to the venue, and the keyboard player said it's here, and we're like, yeah, of course it is. And he's like, no, it's here. And we go, no, it's not. And then there's a poster on the outside that says Credo, and I had to take a photograph of it. How sad's that? Or we go play places like in Holland, and our poster, you've got Michael Schenker Group, Credo, and then I can't remember who else it was, but they're all these proper bands, and then there's like our poster in the middle, so I take photos of that as well. It's fabulous.
And it's really good that you're still enjoying it just as much as you ever were.
I enjoy it probably more now than I ever did, actually. But yeah, you wouldn't do it if you didn't enjoy it. So.
Very true. Very true. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat.
Fantastic.
I think I'm your last, and so it's time for you guys to start drinking.
Yay.
So enjoy that.
Brilliant.
Have a wonderful day, and I'm sure we'll see you at something soon.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.